Hey everyone, today we're diving into a really essential skill for anyone working with Linux, automating all those repetitive tasks. If you're looking to make your systems run smoother and be more reliable, you are definitely in the right place.
You know that feeling, right? That digital déjà vu, where you're running the same exact commands day in and day out. It's not just boring, it's actually inefficient. And, let's be honest, it's where mistakes happen. The good news is, Linux gives us a much smarter way to handle all of this.
So here's what we've got on tap. We'll start with why you should even care about automation. Then we'll get into the big three tools: cron, the classic scheduler, at for those one-time jobs, and systemd, which is the modern, super powerful approach. And by the end, you'll know exactly which tool to grab for any situation. All right, first things first. Why bother automating? Well, think of it like this. You're basically teaching your system to manage itself. Instead of you having to babysit it all the time, your system becomes this perfect employee that never gets tired. What that gets you is consistency, the power to scale things up without you doing more work. And, this is the best part, it frees you up to tackle the real, interesting challenges.
Okay, let's kick things off with the absolute legend of Linux scheduling, cron. This thing has been around forever, and for a good reason. It is rock solid, super reliable, and it just works for all those regular scheduled jobs.
So what is cron, really? Under the hood, it's just a little background process, a daemon, that wakes up every single minute. It checks its to-do list, which we call a cron tab, and asks, is there anything I need to do right now? If the answer is yes, it runs the command. It's the perfect setup for anything that needs to happen over and over again on a set schedule. Now this right here, this is the magic of cron. It's all about this 5-field time format. I know, it looks a little weird at first, like a bunch of stars, but it's actually super powerful. Each one of those asterisks represents a unit of time. You've got minute, hour, day of the month, and day of the week. The asterisk itself just means every. So 5 asterisks, that's the easiest one. It means run this command every minute of every hour of every day. Getting a handle on this syntax is really the secret to bending cron to your will. Okay, let's look at a real example. See here, we've put 15 in the minute field and 2 in the hour field. We're literally telling cron, hey, every day at 2:15 a.m., run this backup script. The other asterisks just mean on any day of any month on any day of the week. It's the classic set it and forget it job, perfect for running backups when no one's using the system. And you can dial it in even more. In this example, we've got 15 for the minute, 16 for the hour, that's 4:15 p.m., but look at that last field, the 1. That locks this job to run only on a Monday. So this is exactly how you'd set up, say, a weekly report that needs to run every Monday afternoon so it's ready for Tuesday morning. So you might be wondering, where do you actually put these cron jobs? Well, there are basically 2 flavors. First, you have system-wide jobs. These are controlled by the system administrator, the root user, and they live in files like /etc/crontab. There are even these awesome little helper directories like /etc/cron.daily, where you can literally just drop a script and boof, it runs once a day. Then you've got user-specific jobs. Any user can set up their own schedule just by typing crontab-e, which opens up their own personal crontab file.
Now, obviously, you don't want just anyone scheduling jobs on a server. So, Linux has a really simple way to control this. It's basically an allow list and a deny list. If a file called cron.allow exists, you have to be on that list to use cron. Simple as that. If that file doesn't exist, then the system checks cron.deny, and anyone on that list is blocked. It's a really easy way to lock things down.
Okay, so cron is fantastic for anything that repeats. But what if you just need to run something once? Like you need to reboot a server tonight at 3 a.m., but you really don't want to wake up to do it. For that exact scenario, Linux gives us the beautiful, simple at command. The whole idea behind at is fire and forget. You just tell it what you want to do and when you want it done, and it takes care of everything else. It's absolutely perfect for things like running a really heavy script in the middle of the night, or that server reboot we talked about, without you having to be there.
And using at is so easy, it's almost funny. You literally just type at and then a time that a human can understand, like 10:15 p.m. tomorrow. It'll give you a little prompt, you type in the command you want to run, and then you just hit Control-D to save it. That's it. It's made to be fast and simple.
Managing these jobs is just as easy. @q. Think @q. Shows you what's waiting to run. And if you made a mistake or changed your mind, @rm. @remove lets you delete a job from the queue. Super simple. Okay, so let's boil it all down.
This is the key difference. Cron is for your routines, your reoccurring tasks, the daily backups, the weekly reports. AT is for one-time appointments, that single maintenance job you need to run tonight. Think of it this way. Cron is for the marathon, and AT is for the sprint.
All right, we've covered the classics. Now it's time to talk about the modern powerhouse, Systemd. Look, cron and AT are great, they really are, but Systemd brings scheduling to a whole new level with something called timers, and it's deeply integrated into the operating system.
And this quote really nails why Systemd timers are such a big deal. Cron is simple, right? But Systemd is precise. It fixes a lot of the old headaches you'd get with cron, like a job failing and you never knowing why. Systemd gives you amazing logging and lets you set up dependencies, so a job will only run if another service is active. It's just so much smarter.
The way Systemd does things is a bit different. Instead of just one line in a file, you usually create two files. You have a .service file that describes what you want to run, and a .timer file that describes when you want to run it. And let me tell you, this separation is a total game changer. It means you can test your script just by starting the service file without messing with the schedule at all. Debugging becomes way easier.
And you manage all of this using the systemctl command you probably already know. Systemctl list timers gives you a beautiful overview of everything that's scheduled. Plus, check this out. For a quick one-off task, you can use systemd run to just fire off a command after a delay, say in 15 minutes, without having to create any files. It's super handy.
All right, so we've looked at 3 really powerful tools. Now for the big question. How do you know which one to pick for the job?
Here's a simple way to think about it. If you have a simple, repeating job, like a daily script, just use cron. It's everywhere, it's easy, and it works. If you need to run a command just one time in the future, AT is your best friend. It's the fastest way to get that done. But for anything more complex, when you need detailed logs, or your job depends on another service, or you have a really tricky schedule, that's when you bring in the big guns, Systemd timers. They are absolutely the modern and frankly better choice for complex tasks.
And look, if you take away only one thing about cron, let it be those 5 little asterisks: minute, hour, day of month, and day of week. That simple line is everything. Understand that, and you understand cron.
At the end of the day, learning these tools isn't just about saving yourself some typing. It's about a bigger idea: building systems that are reliable, predictable, and can scale up without you having to work harder. It's really a foundational skill for being a great sysadmin.
So now you've got the tools. You have what you need to take back your time and make your systems work for you. So, what's it going to be? What's that one boring, repetitive task that you're going to automate first?